Now let's go to the UK, where the Tories have a formidable lead over Labor, and that wasn't going to be helped by this Jeremy Corbyn performance with the best interview in the business, Andrew Neil.
Why does he always give Britain's enemies the benefit of the doubt? From Galtieri in the Falklands to Mr. Putin when the Kremlin was trying to kill people in Salisbury here in England. You rarely have a good word to say for our allies. You've no time for NATO, the alliance that's kept us safe. Why should people trust you to defend our national interest?
Because I believe keeping people safe is very important, because I believe recognising the threats that exist to inequality in our society and the injustice that comes from that, recognising that the global climate change is a major threat to security all around.
Corbyn then went on to say, and I quote, "We have to look at how we created these dangers," when he was asked about terrorist organisations. But it got even worse. Corbyn refused to apologise for Labor's anti-Semitism crisis.
What I'll say is this: I am determined that our society will be safe for people of all faiths. I don't want anyone to be feeling insecure in our society. And our government will protect every community against the abuse they receive on the streets, on the trains, or in any other form of life.
Try one more time.
No, hang on a minute, Andrew. Can I explain what we're trying to do?
You have, and you've been given plenty of time to do it. I asked you if you wanted to apologise.
Andrew, I don't want anyone to go through what anyone has gone through.
And you've said that several times. I understand that, Mr. Corbyn. I was asking you about an apology.
Majid Nawaz wrote a remarkable piece yesterday on Labor being institutionally anti-Semitic. Nawaz wrote, "Brexit or Remain, we do have choices other than Labor. We must not betray our Jewish cousins over a tribal vote. After all this, if we still choose Labor, at least let's stop pretending we are progressives, or that we care about racism and minorities, or that we listen to victims when they tell us we're hurting them. It's all BS. Just admit you really don't give a damn about Jews." That's pretty powerful stuff, Gideon, but that's what it's come to.
A brilliant article.
And he's no conservative, let's be honest. No. He's not a Tory supporter, but he's just saying, whichever side of the fence you are with Remain or Brexit, there are other options, and until Labor fixes up its anti-Semitism issue, do not vote for them.
It shows to me, this whole issue, what's warped about the current discussion around racism and identity politics and so on, because to the left, they'll go very hard against racism, but this is not about tolerance, it's not about being a decent person, it is about victimhood. And for whatever reason, Jews tend not to fit into the left's hierarchy of victimhood. I've even read things talking about Jewish privilege. I've read things about Orthodox Jews being assaulted in Brooklyn and explaining away by saying minority communities are reacting to the fact that Judaism is an expression of whiteness. I don't even know what that means. So there are some huge double standards here within the left about what they'll stand. These are people who fly off the handle when you use the wrong pronouns. Yeah. But they will turn a blind eye to shockingly anti-Semitic incidents. I think there's a lot of explaining to do, not least of all Jeremy Corbyn.
Yeah, absolutely. Corinne, how do you see this? Because we have seen this rise of anti-Semitism in the left. For a long time, it was seen as a far-right issue. But particularly in Europe, it has become a feature of elements of the left.
Exactly, and it is on the rise, and everyone's on the left of politics, and therefore the mainstream media is so obsessed about talking about the march of the right. They're missing this. This is racism, and it's really it's been described this week as a poison within the Labour Party, which I think is really strong language and really apt. The interview that he did with Andrew Neil was an absolute shocker. To refuse 4 times to apologise is just I mean, no words.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, all he had to say was at least show some sympathy for the victims and say, I'm sorry, we're going to do better.
Where was the leadership? Yeah.
That's it. And repeatedly he was given the opportunity to say sorry, and he steadfastly refused. And you saw a few seconds of it there, but the whole interview is worth watching.